All she said today was follow the law. And I'll tell you, I was watching that soundbite from her with my 16-year-old son, who is a civics enthusiast, is an American history enthusiast. And I was like, I don't think we're going to get these files. And he's like, what are you, and he honestly said to me, he goes, what are you talking about? The DOJ doesn't report to the president. And I thought, my goodness, someone who's in school, not actually the real world, might think that. But it's a whole other world.
I think what we saw this week was kind of the apex of Trump's arrogance, his nastiness, his lack of accountability. I mean, he feels so confident now that I think he actually thinks he has a megaphone and a propaganda machine that can even spin this, and then he can control this. I mean, the way he called a reporter disrespectfully and shamefully piggy, the way he's been acting
How
toward...
bananas.
But it was a new low. But I think we're going to go lower because he feels totally unencumbered. He feels strong despite the polling. He feels like he's put the pieces in place on a number of things, from the Crown Prince to Venezuela to now. He thinks he actually can control this message and control the Justice Department. But it might be an opportunity for the Democrats to actually score a win. I mean, they haven't gotten too many wins lately. This should be one where they can get bipartisan support. They can get him on the ropes. The bigger issue is, what's the collateral damage? Who else's name is going to come out as this starts to unfold? Because that might be part of Trump's strategy, too, is to make sure it throws on everyone else in the orbit.
Hashtag, if it's about the victims, who cares who else goes down?
Well, Larry Summers cares this week, right? And people like that, I think, we're going to see what other names come out.
Well, tough nuts, Larry. I guess you should have been hitting on your mentee.
Yeah, I think it's accountability, overdue accountability, right? The victims hopefully will stay front and center, and there will be more people held accountable in addition to Trump, but we don't know who yet.
Yeah, fine. Don't cry for me, Argentina. This is about the victims. Sorry, Larry.
True.
But then there's a Fox News poll that goes on to say they are unhappy with Trump and the economy. So you've got Republicans urging Trump to go out on the campaign trail and talk about the economy. But is that a good idea? Isn't he more of a liability than an asset? Because he continues to tell the American people, this is the golden age of the economy. It's great, great, great. Everything's cheaper. And people know it's not.
I think that's right. I think he's out of touch. And I think when you put him out in the trail and you ask him to talk about the economy, you see how out of touch he is. And if you contrast it now with people who are populists and socialists like Mamdani and the new mayor in Seattle, you have an alternative narrative. You have people challenging him. I do think that the Democrats have an opportunity here to also create bipartisanship. That's the undercurrent here, too. Epstein was actually bipartisan. There is bipartisan interest, I think, in trying to come up with solutions to the tariffs.
Just all pigs. It didn't matter what you did for a living. As long as you were rich and powerful and a pig, you were on Team Epstein.
That's true. And I think people want to see big guys go down. I think the American people want to see some of these rich guys pay for their sins. I think they want to see them held accountable. And the other bipartisan issue that seems to be rising is close is Venezuela. Most of America is against strikes on Venezuela. He's continued to put all the pieces in place in the Caribbean. And there is an opportunity for the Democrats to bring Republicans on board and slow Trump down, even if it looks like he wants to put the pedal to the metal and start strikes as early as next week.
The Kremlin has shown a grand total of 0 signs that they're going to change their strategy.
Yeah, that's right. It's another head fake. He sent the Secretary of the Army, Dan Driscoll, over there, who's actually been a pretty moderating force and so far gotten good remarks from people. They haven't sent Hegseth. He hasn't gone himself. I mean, Putin has shown...
You know what? He's busy. He has to nail in that Department of War sign with his shirt sleeves rolled up.
Right.
That takes a few
they're
days.
doing all that kind of crap. In the meantime, this is where the rubber meets the road. He said he was going to solve Ukraine in 20 minutes, and here we are almost at the end of the first year, and it's not solved. I think there's another, bigger piece of this.
Give it.
It's the holidays. And if you're in a war zone, or you didn't get paid because of the shutdown, or you got cut by Doge, it sucks. You have credit card debt. You didn't get paid for 40 days. You lost your job. And I think a lot of that is catching up with him. It's the holiday times, and people are really feeling, especially the economic pressure. They're feeling the lack of security. And that's going to come home and hit him hard, with Republicans especially, who've been disproportionately impacted by some of the federal cuts. Veterans are 1/3 of the federal workers he cut. It's going to be a crappy Thanksgiving and Christmas for a lot of people who haven't gotten paid for the last month.
All right, one other similar. The war in Ukraine is unresolved, but that is not stopping Trump from now saying he is okay with launching strikes in Mexico, helping Arab nations stabilize the Sudan, and you said it, the U.S. is building military operations up near Venezuela. Who's okay with this?
Nobody. Actually, only about 25% of the American public even supports the strikes that he's doing on these drug boats. So this is overwhelmingly...
If they are drug boats.
If they are drug boats. I think this is also where the rubber meets the road. You've got folks like Rand Paul, but even more, less MAGA dedicated Republicans, Tom Tillis and others are speaking out because they don't want to see more war. They don't want to see regime change war, which is something he's talked about not doing, and it looks like he might do. But the table is set. The ships are in place. He said he's got the messaging out there. He's playing this cat and mouse game with Moderno. But I think it's more likely than not that he will do something before the end of the year. What that is, we don't know.
Okay,
he's made it clear that he wants to do something, and he may find a reason to do it.
But how does the Trump voter feel about that, right? The America First Trump voter who was happy that DOJ wiped out USAID and said we shouldn't be spending any of our time, any of our attention anywhere overseas, and now we're setting up all over the world.
So this is what I'm talking about, right? Because when he first got elected, what Trump says now, Trump says, America first, I invented that. I know what that is. I'm telling you what it is. You don't have to tell me that you don't like it. I'm telling you what it is. What I'm doing is America first. I'm doing it. This was a perfectly good message in like March or like February. It's not working now. This is the problem that he has to deal with. Someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene, this is one of the reasons that she is particularly upset with him, is this shift towards military action, right? She didn't like the strikes in Ukraine, in Iran. She doesn't like the sort of saber rattling going on. She wanted the war in Ukraine over, probably in Russia's favor, but that's sort of what they wanted to do. And they're not getting it. And Trump keeps saying, but if I'm doing it, it's America first, and that is running out of steam.
And
that's their challenge.
Really important story. It's not America first to give the F-35 stealth fighter to the Saudis, okay? This is a big story that hasn't gotten enough attention. This is the best fighter jet on the planet. It's our premier piece of technology. Why would we? We should not, under any circumstances, give it to the Saudis, and also understand the Saudis are still training with the Chinese. So this opens the door for the Chinese to have access to one of the crown jewels of our military arsenal. This is literally showing that the White House is open for business, and that could compromise our national security. This is bad, bad, bad.
We ask this question every night. Is the White House for sale? It appears that Paul answered it. Quite possibly, yes. All right, I'm warning the two of you. In this last segment, you didn't know it was a competition, but Paul did win. Prosecutor who left to how Halligan is performing, and there's a whole lot of other Trump adversaries that are also facing prosecutions and investigations besides his own personal vendetta. Who is he doing this for, right? Nobody wants this as a hot new TV show, and it is also, I think, how the American people feel about all these prosecutions. Who cares?
Well, Trump wants power. He wants to flex his power. He wants to intimidate.
Power over Jim Comey, who's just living his own private life?
But it does have a chilling effect. When he goes after Comey, he goes after his shames. He goes after Bolton. He talks about now going after Obama administration officials. He is flexing his power, and even if he doesn't win, he's intimidating people. He's encouraging other people to not speak out. The average American who says, well, what if he came after me for something I said at work? I think that does have a chilling effect on this country. Now, he's also got a tendency to pick people who are sloppy and incompetent. That's kind of defining his presidency. We've seen that.
Not people to go after who are sloppy and incompetent. He's
choosing people who look good, right, who look good on TV, but can't execute and are sloppy and incompetent. We see that at the Pentagon. We see it at the Justice Department. But they keep hitting the guardrails. And I think that's a good thing for America. The justice system seems to be holding, and we're going to need it to hold, especially if we talk about, like, for example, whether or not hitting Venezuela is illegal, right? We're going to hit this crescendo that may lead to a constitutional crisis, and we're going to need the courts to hold.
So no slippers for grandma. That is the advice at a time when the president says it's the golden age of the economy, and Scott Bessent says anybody who disagrees with that, it's just a con job. No presents for grown-ups. Let your wife know.
Why do they hate Christmas? Why do they hate America? Why do they hate joy? Leave Christmas alone.
Okay,
right?
But for real, isn't this crazy?
It is crazy, but it's kind of the manifestation of the jerk mentality of being mean and not looking out for others and putting yourself first and worrying about the bottom line instead of about making grandma happy at Christmas time. I mean, I think this reveals them, a lot of people, and the president especially, for how terrible of a person he is. I mean, we've seen that especially over the last week, the way he talks to people, the way he treats people. He's not going to be very good at Christmas.
He also loves receiving gifts. Yeah. We have watched business leaders, foreign leaders go into the White House bearing gifts. He just gave the Saudis a pretty good Christmas present. Yeah. This is why he wants to cut everybody $2,000 checks. He wants to put something on their table. And that's what Kathy Hochul actually just did in New York. I just got a $300 tax check.